Alright, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Aiden and welcome to my monthly Walking Dead comic review. This month we are reviewing issue 184 of The Walking Dead, titled Eugene Tinkers. Alright, okay, so before we do anything, welcome to my first month where I'm doing The Walking Dead comic review in person. Usually I do it where I'm just sat at my desk, very close to my microphone, just kind of in a very monotone voice, just kind of looking at my notes and making conversation about it. But this month, I'm going to be doing it in my normal gaming persona. Now, if you've not seen my gaming videos, this is usually how I talk in my gaming videos. And I thought, maybe if I put this over into my Walking Dead reviews, they'll come out much better. Because them videos where I just had pictures and I was just talking into the microphone, I hated them. Disgusting. Hated them. Hated doing it, and it made me want to stop doing YouTube. Whereas this stuff, talking like this into a camera using a very nice microphone, it's better. Okay? It's better. Now, I do have notes. They're over there. Now, I know them by heart, so I'll very rarely have to look over there. And if I do, it'll be cut out anyway, so I don't even know why I'm telling you this. Alright, so let's just jump straight into it with the first thing that I noticed. First thing that I noticed was badass Mercer. Now, Mercer right at the very beginning was unbelievable. He was like drop kicking people. He had a gun. He wasn't using it. He was just like kicking people at every opportunity he got. He was trying to calm the situation, but he was also absolutely annihilating some of the people who were involved in the riot. And after all of that badassery with Mercer, there was also a little incident with Michonne. Michonne, of course, was in a bit of a kerfuffle last issue, and she had to escape. But she also noticed that one of the soldiers who helped save her life was also being attacked. He was getting overrun. He was getting completely done over by the members of the community. And she went over to try and defuse the situation, but also made it worse by she kind of conked over the head herself. And then once the member of the Commonwealth Guards noticed what was happening, his name is Jerome. So for this purpose of this, I will call him Jerome. He's the Commonwealth Guard. He actually dived on top of Michonne. So any hits that were coming in to hit Michonne, they were all hitting him. And we don't know if he's dead yet, but a lot of the hits and blood was actually coming out, so we can assume that he actually killed himself in order to save Michonne, which is quite sad because we never got to see what he looked like. And he's been, over the past 3 issues, he's been quite a big part of Michonne's storyline. We don't know if he's dead yet. He could just be really injured. But then, straight after there was a scene with Rick where he pulled the guard off him, very limp. He looked like he was dead, and saw Michonne there that was also quite injured. So quite sad. And then, in order to defuse the situation, the guards, to get all of the members of the community's attention, just shot guns into the air and was just like, that's enough, we're done here. And I thought that was absolutely amazing because you don't really... The only last time we really saw that was with the Rick situation where they were all arguing in the Alexandria courthouse and Rick just came in, beaten up, bloodied, and just shot a gun in the air and was just like, stop it, or else I'm going to kill you, basically. And that kind of way of diffusing a situation always works, and in this case it also did, so that's quite cool. And then there was Michonne's speech. She then goes on in court to say that the whole situation was an accident, where the guy got killed. It was just an accident, it got way out of control, and the situation was misunderstood. Now, the speech that she gave was quite long, but that was just a very narrowed part of it. She explained how the situation was very misunderstood, and that nobody really could understand what was happening. All that they saw was a person had got killed. Michonne was describing it as a freak accident, whereas everyone else was explaining it as a lash out of aggression from the Commonwealth Guards. And Michonne actually, I assume she won the court case because the judge wouldn't actually let the other lawyer who was defending the people actually speak. And Michonne was quite happy with herself, but I'm not sure if she really understood what just happened. She had basically saved people who had killed somebody from getting punished, so I'm not really sure what the whole situation is completely, but I'm not really sure if Michonne, what she did was the right thing, but I also don't really think she had a choice. It's always a good time for a coffee. So also, Michonne was actually in the courthouse with her injuries. She had like a black eye and she had some like gashes on her face, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that was good that Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adler did that, because it shows that she got herself beaten down to the lowest of the low, and she still came in clutch. She still came in court and did her job that she was made to do. So that just shows how dedicated Michonne is to try and keep in this community as peaceful as possible, because that's what she's doing. She doesn't really see it as protecting the Commonwealth Guards from doing something that was really stupid. She just sees it as an opportunity to try and keep the peace within the Commonwealth. And then there's the moment that we've all been waiting for, or that I've been waiting for personally, and that's the talk between Rick and Michonne that we've not seen in a good while. Michonne goes on to explain that, seeing her daughter in the Commonwealth and just seeing what the Commonwealth has to offer, it's changed her perspective on what the world can be. Because the Commonwealth is like no other place we've ever seen in our lives. The entire comic book has been this like story arc. It's been one long story arc of just the people struggling, and then all of a sudden they've come across this place with over 40,000 people and a massive government that just, it's like the apocalypse never happened. And the fact that Michonne got to experience that it's like changed her outlook on what the apocalypse can do. It's like the world wanted to push them out, and the Commonwealth is the start of something better. And that's kind of what Michonne sees. And the fact that her daughter was there as well, I can't really see her going back to Alexandria, but hey, if she does, that's what I want to see. The Commonwealth is falling apart, right? The Commonwealth has been falling apart since we got introduced to it, a few issues ago in the New World Order storyline. And all of this that's happening is like slowly chipping away, but then I think this issue just kind of put some flex seal over the chipping, and I don't think it's going to last very long, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's going to be all willy-nilly. I do genuinely think that this isn't over for the end of the Commonwealth. It might be a pause on the end of the Commonwealth, but I do think we're going to get to the end of the Commonwealth very, very shortly. And then completely outside of the Commonwealth situation, Eugene and Stephanie actually come across a train cart that they want to use as a trade route between all the communities, because Eugene is convinced that he can get the train cart to run. Now, to say how far they are in the apocalypse and the fact they don't have cars anymore, I'm not sure how Eugene's going to get that to run. That's something that I want that to be explained. If Eugene does get that to run, I want them to explain how he did it, because just saying that he, used some stuff to get it running just didn't, because, gasoline, that's gone, done for. You won't be able to use that anymore because they're about 6-7 years into the apocalypse. About 90% of it will be unusable, and the rest of it's going to be really hard to use. And surely they're going to need to find a substitute for, for the oil, and they're going to need, just all this stuff. I want them to explain how he's going to get that to run, because that's something that I personally hate about Fear the Walking Dead TV show, is they're still finding vehicles so far into the apocalypse that work, that have battery life and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense, in my head. But if they want to explain it and it makes sense, then I'll be all for it. But just saying that he gets it to work, I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, but he wants to use the train cart as trade routes between all the communities, the Commonwealth, Alexandria, and all of that. Stephanie kind of is a bit thingy about the idea, but Eugene really is confident in his abilities to get this to work. Stephanie says that it's going to take over, it's going to take years to build, and Eugene's like, that's the fun, And also, just one little side note, completely, Stephanie was white in the first issue we saw her. If I'm lazy enough, I won't have a picture here. If I am, thank you, Aiden. You did good. But yeah, this is what she looked like in the first issue that we saw her in, and then this is what she looked like now. I'm not sure if that's a bad part on Charlie Adler's, but the same thing happened with Kelly from the Magna Group. He was white when we first saw him, and now he's black. It's a common breeze over, okay? It happens. Charlie Adler's a very busy man. Small things like that, he'll just breeze over because he doesn't notice what he's done. But all that aside, it was a beautiful issue, beautifully drawn. A lot of the stuff was, I had to say, quite hard to draw, and he just pulled it off like a madman. Alright, so, back into the Commonwealth. Pamela is not impressed with Lance. Now, this whole situation with Lance, I assume you've read it. Surely she can't completely put the blame on him. She was really laying into him as if all the riots were his fault. And I'm not really sure what I think about that. Now, I don't really like Lance, so I don't really like him as a character, but I don't think he deserves to have all the blame put on him. Because at the end of the day, it was the Commonwealth soldiers that did what they did in order to cause the riots, and surely she knows that. And Lance is just sat there apologising. No, fuck off, Lance. You need to do what you need to do. It wasn't your fault. And fuck Pamela, you know? Hey, you take over the government, you know? There wasn't really much I can say about that situation. However, the next situation... Jesus Christ, my spelling's atrocious. What did I put? Oh yeah. Alright. Right, so there's also this Pamela situation where she notices that Rick is actually helping on the streets. She goes down and is like, hey Rick, what are you doing? We have people for this, you don't need to do this. And Rick's like, no, I got this. If you don't help your community, what's the point? And then, you know, once Pamela realises that what he's doing is actually good, she actually joins in and is all for it, which I'm very happy that she finally realised that she could do more than just sit in an office and do government things. But then, Sebastian. Jesus Christ, it's worse than Season 1 Carl. Sebastian is the biggest piece of... Right, Sebastian comes in and basically says, no, what are you doing, Mum? We have people for this. Why? We don't have to do it. And Pamela's like, no, come on, join in. We need to get it done. And Sebastian's just like, no, I didn't bloody cause this, and runs off. Jesus Christ, just shoot the kid in the head, put him out of his goddamn misery. And then the most important part of the entire issue, of course. Oh yeah, I didn't see this coming. So, of course, there was that little situation a few issues ago where Mercer did save Junita Sanchez's, or Princess, I'm going to call her Princess for this purpose, where Mercer saved Princess's life, and then they had a little kiss. But I thought it was a little, you know, satire moment, because Princess actually said, oh, sorry, I thought we had a moment there. And then this issue, they've had sex. So in the issue, it kind of cuts to like a post-sex bedroom. And then they go on to talk about if they want it to become a real thing, or if it was just like a, you know, a little casual thing. And it turns out to be a real thing. So, you know, Mercer and Princess are now a thing? See what, I didn't see that coming at all. I would not have called it, because Princess hasn't had a lot of development over the past few issues, and, you know, it's a good development. It's a good development. And also, some people inform Rick that Rick shouldn't look at the surface features and just take in the Commonwealth as it is, because these people want to join Rick at Alexandria. And Rick says, well, no, because, you know, this place is amazing. Why would you want to leave this place? We're a bit underdeveloped compared to this. And they said, well, don't look at the surface features. You know, it's not all it's not all it's built up to be. Which makes Rick curious. And then there's the final scene. Now, we've had one of these scenes before between Rick and Dwight. Now, Rick walks into his, like, temporary apartment or whatever, and Dwight sat there, scares the living daylights out of him. And then they have another confrontation. Dwight wants to stay at the Commonwealth to help out, and he uses the fact that Rick wanted him to be the leader of the Saviors for leeway. And Rick still says no, and that causes Dwight to be quite angry, and then the issue ends there. Why don't them two just, like, have a beer together, get a word in, you know, try and sort this out, because they've been tense now for over 12 issues, and I'm not liking it. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of the issue. So my review per se is it's a tough one, because it kind of was a filler issue, but then it also had a lot of advancement, something that we've not seen in a while. Like, we've had these filler issues where they've advanced, but they've not really gave us a lot to read, and it was very boring, whereas this issue wasn't boring. There was a lot of stuff that happened. The riots were still going on. The riots then calmed down. Rick came in and he's slowly building the ladder. I'm not sure if you guys picked up on that, but he is. He's slowly building the ladder to the Commonwealth. And all of this is happening in this one issue. So if the issues can carry on like this is starting to pick up pace, and I'm really enjoying it. And because it's picking up pace, it's more like a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10 when it comes to issue. It's good. You know, the story's advancing. The story's getting to a point now where we're starting to pick up pace. And we've not had pace now for almost like 10 issues. And it's, you know, it's good to finally see it starting again, because it's been a while since we've had a really serious storyline that's affected our survivors. The Commonwealth hasn't affected the survivors yet. There's been no antagonistic force upon them since the Whisperers, which that arc ended in issue 173 when Beta died. Anyway, there's not really much else I can say. You know, I've explained what the issue's about. I've explained what it means for the story. So, I'm going to end this here. See you guys in the next video. Like the video, or not. Subscribe, or not. It's all completely up to you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.